Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. I'm just going to do a very quick roundup of the market, what it looks like to me, and we'll also look at all our shares in both the AI segment as well as genomics segment, the indices, and draw some conclusions. I'll keep it short. Let's get started. We start off with the fear and greed index, where we are already in the extreme greed section. And this is a time when you can't be on leverage products. So if you look at the stock market heat map, we can see that the theme of Magnificent 7 became theme of Magnificent 6. And now even the theme of Magnificent 6 is not being sustained. So definitely there is a bit of weakness or hesitation in the market. And you can see that in this chart out here, where the Mag 6 has got a mixed outcome, with NVIDIA being red, TSM being red, and our Apple, Google, and Meta are green, whereas Amazon and Microsoft have not done well today. And of course, then we have Tesla, which is in a different direction altogether. So that said, let us look at the economic calendar. We have a GDP growth rate, QOQ, coming up at 8:30 tomorrow. It will give an idea of how well the GDP is doing. And then on Thursday, we have got the core PCE price index, month over month, personal income. Those all would also be able to have an influence on the rate expectations, and they can change the market direction. Now, if we go on to the TradingView platform, you can see that the futures are slightly red. I wouldn't worry too much about minus 0.07, but the fact that it's not neutral or positive is definitely a negative out here. And also we have seen that the momentum is flat out here, so that means there is a little bit of hesitancy out here. If you look at the last 4 days, it has been range bound and consolidating. It could either consolidate to move upwards, or it could keep consolidating until it gathers enough strength to be able to move up. So I don't know what's happening out here. There could be a hesitation because semiconductors, especially NVIDIA, has been the shiny object. People forgot that the interest rates are so high, and they allowed NVIDIA to drag them upwards so rapidly. So maybe people, as I said in my earlier video, people might suddenly come to their senses and say, oh my God, the interest rates are still high. What are we doing? And that could be a little bit of hesitation out here. Next, we go on to the indicators. QQQ ended up just a 0.24% gain, and it's below the bull channel. So we already see a little bit of moderation out here, and we have higher high. So I'm happy with that. But we have had lower lows. So I would be very carefully watching to make sure that we don't form any lower lows. If lower lows come in, that means we are moving into a bear channel. And my first test would be that tomorrow we should stay above the 9-day exponential. If not, then I would get a bit worried. And if I look at the momentum out here, the momentum is above average, but I don't think it's accelerating. So it leaves me with a bit of doubt for what will happen tomorrow. The VIX has gone down. This is a positive for us, because as the VIX comes down, we'll have a much better opportunity to see gains in the market. But if I drag this line up, so it's going to be progressively a higher VIX as we go ahead. So it will take a period of time, and then it could probably be around 20. So it's a steady increase. So it's a sustained increase, sustainable increase in VIX. So it's a stealth. It's creeping up on us. SPY was up 0.19%, and Dow Jones was down 0.27%. US dollar index was up 0.07%. Russell was up 1.42%. And we have put call ratio being almost neutral. And if I look at the range of support that we have, it improved from yesterday, but it's still being pushed down by the 9-day exponential. So only 62% of the companies in S&P 500 have their 50-day average, their price above the 50-day average. So the broad-based support is waning. I would say it's just consolidating out here. It's not going up. So that will be a matter of concern for me. And then let's go on to genomics, where DNA did well with a gain of 9.29%. I don't see any new news out here that should probably move this up. But we have earnings coming up on the 29th of February, an expectation of minus 0.097 for EPS, and revenue of 42.502 million is what they're expecting. And if you look at what had been delivered earlier, earlier they delivered minus 0.16 as EPS. So definitely the EPS ask is more aggressive out here. They have to improve their EPS. And then their revenue previously in the previous quarter was around 55.43 million, and they are being expected to produce less than that out here. So hopefully they are able to meet the revenue, but I'm not sure about the EPS. We'll have to wait and see what happens out there. CRISPR Therapeutics was up 3.56%, and it has broken through another resistance and converted that into a support. So I'm going to make this a bit thick. You can see it in your smaller devices. ARCG was up 4.90%, absolutely breaking through a very strong jump up here. It's a little bit of a gap up, but I won't worry too much about it. And we could potentially see that there could be a breakup. I'll just go for my favorite tool out here, which I like to deploy. And then I think that we could potentially have a price target for ARCG. I'm going to just venture a price target out here. So this is a price target for ARCG, which is at around 35.87 in the near term. But in order to achieve that, it has to break through a certain amount of resistances, and we have a resistance here at 34.73, and then this diagonal line of resistance from the past is coming at us. So we'll have to see how it works out. And if you zoom out further, then you have another huge cup and handle out here. So DNA could be in for big things, but again, technical indicators are just indicators. There are so many other factors that are involved. So I wouldn't rush to the bank with it, but I'll be more optimistic about ARCG. And then you look at Caribou Biosciences. In Caribou, you have got a growth of 11.32% today, again a substantial jump, and it stopped exactly at our previous resistance that we had plotted at around 8.25. It ended at 8.26. So I think there must have been a little bit of a mistake in our resistance, but it's more or less in the ballpark. So I think if tomorrow it breaks out above this, then this would be converted into a support, and we'll be marching on to strength to strength. Caribou is doing well. I have put a video on Caribou today. Check it out if you have not yet done so. And then we have Verve, which was up 21.47%. Again, a very strong growth. And we have the RSI, which has become overbought. And I think it will have to cool down a little bit. Let us see if there is any news out here. 10 hours ago, Verve Therapeutics share gained 60% on fourth quarter revenue beat. So they had a revenue beat, and that's what has explained this. Fantastic. So this is good news for many companies in the sector. So I'm really happy with this, but I am expecting some cooling down and a little bit of profit taking tomorrow in Verve. IMTX is up 1.70%, and it is being held back by the resistance at 12.71. RSI and momentum is looking good. Bluebird is up 19.86%. Expectation is 65 cents EPS negative and 16.4 million revenue. So we'll see what happens. 28th of February is tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to report before market or after, but the suspense will be over tomorrow. Bionano Genomics was up 11.11%, and it has in the process converted the resistance at 1.25 into a support. So that's a very good move, and also momentum is above average, so I'm hopeful for Bionano. Prime was up 8.43%. Is there any news out here? Other than equity dilution, there is nothing. So the share is going up. We'll find out some news very soon. It could also be overall market sentiment. Beam is up 25.89%. There should be some good news here. I think the earnings have come out well. Let us see. Yes, there has been an earnings beat of 350%, and there's been a revenue surprise of 825%. So Beam has beaten everybody, and it has converted a bunch of resistance into support. The first one is at 24.91, and the second one happens to be at 40.22, which has also been converted into a support. So I'll make a video on Beam shortly. Allogene was up 11.02%. Earning is up tomorrow, expecting an EPS of minus 0.451 and a revenue of 22K. And we have Pacific Bio, which was up 7.46%, finally managing to cross over the 9-day exponential, but the chart is still looking very weak. Editas was up 9.93%. In the process, converted a resistance at 8.38 into a support. So really happy for that. We had to break through the 100-day exponential, and then the next resistance we'll have after that will be 9.07. So hoping for the best because RSI is looking great. Illumina was up 2.04%. Just about managing to stay above the 100-day exponential moving average, and it's being constrained by the diagonal line of resistance of the wedge from the previous bullish wedge. Now next we look at Intelia, which was up 12.15%. And is there any news of late? I don't know why it has gone up. We'll find out. I'll find out and get back to you on that. And then that's it. Precision Bio was up 0.25%. Now next, let's go on to look at AI. Google was up 0.97%. Apple was up 0.81%. Google also, I think, is underperforming. And I suspect that it's on a bear channel already. I'm going to draw a bear channel out here. I don't want to jinx this thing, but it seems more and more apparent that we have a bear channel coming up. So those are the lower highs, and these are the lower lows, and I'm going to convert this into a resistance. So we are in a bear channel officially for Google in my books. And then we have Apple, which is also getting into a bear channel. We have had a series of lower lows, but then this one is kind of confusing me. Could we have a double bottom and then we move up? Maybe Apple comes up with some AI announcement. I don't know. So I'm going to hold my judgment for now. It's being supported by the 100-day exponential moving average, which is the last ditch support you can find. Hopefully it picks up. Microsoft was down 0.01. Microsoft is still doing okay. Meta was up 1.10%. Gap fill is remaining, but I think when it comes to AI, I don't think we have to worry about the gap fill because the whole market had underestimated the potential of AI. And once NVIDIA spoke during the earnings call, they realized what was the value. So I don't expect this gap fill to happen anytime soon. So we should neglect that. AMD was up 1.13%. Again, consolidating very strongly. And I'm going to venture to say that it's creating a floor so that it can build a foundation here and then move upward and break through the resistance of 184.34. But it will take a little bit of time. And we need NVIDIA to pick up. FNG was up 1.0. Amazon was down 0.68%. And we are seeing that this gap fill might probably get filled. But we have support from 9-day exponential. Momentum is above average, but it's decelerating. And Intel was down 0.60. Again, consolidating in a particular range. I would say that it's seeming to be a bit range bound. We have a upper limit out here. I'm going to mark that red. I'll just take another one and I'll put one here. So this is the lower limit and I'm going to mark this green. So it's being range bound within this for quite a period now. We'll see what game it's up to play. NVIDIA was down 0.49%. We have got the 9-day exponential moving average to support. RSI was definitely overheated, so it is cooling off. So I can understand that. I'm not pressing the panic button yet, but I feel that there'll be opportunity to buy NVIDIA on the dips. Again, this is my personal opinion, not financial advice. So please keep that in mind. And then we have Cloudflare, which was down 0.84%, getting supported by the 9-day exponential. And we have Broadcom, which was down -0.99%, again supported by the 9-day exponential. Adobe down 1.43%, fallen below the 9-day exponential, looking extremely weak on the charts. Qualcomm was up 0.81%, still on a bull channel. And I suspect we are going to have a cup and handle out here, and this could give us a very good target. I'm going to join these 2 points out here, pull this down. And I'm going to give you a target right now for this cup and handle pattern. It's going to be, and we'll watch these targets and see how many times we are successful in predicting a good target. So I'm going to mount that on top here. So I think that we'll have a target of 175.81 for Qualcomm. And when will that happen? I can't give you a time frame, but that is the target that we have for the cup and handle. ASML was down 0.66%, and momentum is looking pretty good, but it is decelerating. SMCI was down 2.88%, and we have good enough momentum, but it is decelerating. Palantir was up 4.12%, doing well. There is still room in the RSI, it can go up further. And Applied Materials was down 0.34%. Again, momentum is pretty good. I'm not too much worried about it. MU, which is Micron Technology, was down to was up 2.67%. Huge gap ups out here. Maybe it's catching up with the peers, but I still don't know Micron very well. I'm still in the process of getting familiar with this stock, so I won't comment on it right now. And then we have Palo Alto Networks, which is recovering from the huge drop. And it has unfortunately fallen below the 9-day exponential moving average after trying to blow past it in the morning. And we have a doji candle out here, so a bit of indecision. Momentum has recovered smartly, and we'll have to see how it goes tomorrow. ARM was down 5.64% in today's trade, and it's wiped out the gain from yesterday. And there is still a little bit of gap up out here, which it may probably fill, and it may potentially come down and test the 9-day exponential moving average and 129.89, which is the horizontal support before moving up. I think the fortunes of all of them are linked with NVIDIA. And if NVIDIA starts positive tomorrow, I think we are looking at a positive market, or else it's going to be a repeat of what happened today. I think the market is starting to lose strength. So that was my review of the market action. And I think the genomics sector did very well, whereas the AI side didn't do as well. Probably there could be a rotation of money out of genomics into AI tomorrow, or from other sectors into AI tomorrow if there's a market rotation happening. But if it's a question of the investors suddenly realizing that they had forgotten the high interest rate regimen and they got dazzled by the NVIDIA sales projections, then we could probably see money getting out of the stock market and everyone losing value. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We have some economic calendar items coming up tomorrow and day after. They will also bring back the attention onto yields and fixed income. So catch up with you later. All the best. Stay safe. And again, let me remind you, these are all my personal opinion and not financial advice. So please do your own due diligence. Please press like and support the channel by subscribing. And I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.